right, hey, good morning, good afternoon, happy middle of the night, whenever you watch this. There's been a request for a video on how to make your own, upload your own maps, upload your own games onto Roll20. So we're just going to go through that today. As you can see, I've made, I've made two games on Roll20 myself. I DM Dungeons and Mage, and I'm playing in this one and this one. So those are other people's games, but Dead Man's Tales and this Tea Tarot Tomes are ones that I've made, so I feel like I can say that I do this thing quite frequently. So let me just show you. We're just going to make a new game, and I'm going to walk you through what I do to make this all happen. So game name, I don't know. Yo, this is fun. We're gonna delete it later, so. All of my hard work. All right, first of all, you can drop a file. Don't judge my downloads right now because I'm doing a lot of stuff on YouTube. But I want my, let's see. We'll just use this one, and then it'll probably just do the top of it. So that might actually work pretty well because this is my loading screen for Dead Man's Tales, which is one that I run quite frequently, and that's actually what we're going to use as our example. Oh, I'm also trying to upload stuff onto YouTube right now, so maybe that's what's slowing it down. Yeah, that's fine. But that's how you would upload a video. I use Canva frequently for, I use Canva frequently to do this. I'm going to cover my face down here. You don't need to see me twice. It's fine. Okay, so here's how we do this. You're going to start out with nothing. You're going to start out with making a new page and a blank one. I always zoom out so I can see the whole thing so I know what I'm working with. But we need to start getting our stuff down there. So I have just a random one that I've downloaded before. This is Dead Man's Treasure. It's CCC TRI 25, if anybody super cares. But I've got this from dmsguild.com, which is a pretty cool resource with literally anything you need. They don't have it on there for you for the Roll20 setup, but you can check out adventures. I always do adventures, 5e, nope, 5e edition. I know the E stands for editions. Under edition, that's why I said it. So you can pick out any of these. You can do ones that are free, the pay what you want. What I usually do with pay what you want is I'll pay 0 and then I'll come back and give more money than 0 if I really like it. So that's a thing that I do frequently. So that's just an option. Download it, etc. So here's what comes in most of these adventures. This is very AL, kind of new DM to AL heavy. It does this introduction, but it also does like to adjust the adventure, to play the dungeon master. I don't need this part. I know how to DM. What I really care about is the adventure primer and everything after it. Okay. Now you'll see that there's a lot of pictures in here, right? And then all these should be also posted at the very end. Where is it? Y'all, we're just there. There we go. So this is like a map that I will need. There's a map that I need, etc., etc., etc. This one's very map heavy because of the adventure into the actual area. And then there's NPCs on here as well. So we're going to put all of this into Roll20. I'm probably going to zip through some of it. I don't know how to fast forward these things yet. I'm not that cool. So if anybody wants to teach me how to do that part of the video, that'd be pretty cool. Just let me know. All right, so first thing I need over here is I need to open the journal. Oh, you know what I really need is the compendium. So I'm actually going to back out of Roll20 and do settings. And I really want, no, where do I want to do that at? I don't know where the thing is. There's like this thing where you tell them what kind of format you want the game settings. And then we do D&D 5e. There's so many options on here, though. You could do anything. You can do Pathfinder. You can do the Star Wars thing. I don't even know. But I don't need this stuff. What I do want is I want advantage toggle, whisper toggle, don't auto roll damage. Those are the standards for NPCs, for the characters. So that means that they don't automatically roll at advantage, which is kind of nice. They get to choose when they get advantage when you tell them to. And then they can have the option to whisper their roll to you, which means that only you and them see it, not the other players. But I don't want them to auto roll damage because I don't want them to know how bad or how super cool they would do if they had actually hit, because that hurts sometimes. But your call. And then a lot of these are, there we go. So because I picked the 5th edition, it gives me the 5th edition compendium system, which is really cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my Yo, This Is Fun game that I just made up for fun, launch the game. And now the compendium will be there, which means I can drag and drop certain things. I can use characters that show up, and the Varghouls I don't actually think are in there. So now I have this new button over here. It's the compendium. It's literally anything. Those are my classes. It doesn't have some extra content like the PHP +1. It kind of just has PHP, but every now and again I find some stuff in there. I think the rest is bonus. So nothing over here. In a normal game that you buy, all of this is pre-populated with everything, but you can make it look the same as they do. So I'm going to add I want to add a folder first. I want to call this folder intro. Okay. And then in intro, I'm going to put this mysterious note. Did you see what I just did? It didn't do anything. I want to hold down the triple lines. And then if I move it kind of over, it should pop into intro. It is an intro. Okay, great. You can like stack them that way. It always sets up as a mysterious note. I don't know why. So I do introduction. It's in no player's terms. I don't want anybody else to see this because this is the DM side. So I don't want description. I just want the GM notes. So what I do is I come over here and I start at the beginning, and I don't need this because this is all for the AL part. I don't need that, but I need like this stuff, right? I don't usually do it to the bottom of the page because it does this part, but I do want the rest. So I just copied Control-C, come over here, Control-V, and then it does this super gross blurb, and this is where you have to take a little bit of time, but it actually helps me because then I get to see ahead of time what I'm working with here. So you basically just go through and like put in paragraph marks like by pressing enter and that kind of stuff like that. And then I'm kind of used to this format of this setup. So I know that it goes adventure background and then it does location NPC summary, and it's going to do all this stuff for me. I ran the first one, which is CCCTRI 19. So I know most of these people. I don't need to remind myself, but it is an option for you if you'd like to. So you go through and do that. I'm not going to do it all again. If I could fast forward, I would. I've already done this adventure, so I don't want to do it twice. But something cool I can do is I can actually make these bigger or smaller depending on what I want them to be. So, and then let me see if I can find something that's an actual, here we go. She has sent messages. There we go. So let's say this is the last paragraph. I don't know why it sounds like it's doing a, oh, okay. So this is the preface, and then this is something that like would be a quote, right? It's, I don't even know where it is on this page. So there's this little like signature here. Greetings, there we go. That's what I want. So I want participants of Dead Man's Tales. Hey, there it is. So this is like a little header, and then this is all the quote. So this is something that I might actually make, and I'll actually show you that. But this is a quote, so this is something that you might want to use the quote part for, because it'll be a pop out, and you can see what you're looking at. just got smaller. Let me do that again. There we go. It's because I pressed enter. Oh, now it's a double quote. It's fine. I don't care. You can fix it. So that's just how I do it. I personally make this normal size and just italicize it so that way I know what I'm looking at, but it's up to you. This made it really easy to read. And I wish I'd actually found that button a little bit earlier than I did. And you can see my work as I go through, like in one adventure, it might be that the top line is biggest bold, and other times I'll make it like the third and second and first only, not 4 or 5. So that's your call. So these are all, I would go through the entire thing and do it. Again, it's really good prep work because I get to see kind of like how things are going and where they are from and all that. So that way I can find it easier later and know the adventure a little bit better off the top of my head. So I would save changes, and that's the introduction, and that it shows up like this when I open it. Again, I would fix all this blurb, but that's how it would look. Okay. Something else. I don't want this file. Don't know why these files are here. Delete folder. Delete folder. Beautiful. So now I just have the introduction. I would make another folder for the location, which is Abigail's Cove in this case. Oop, not cover. Ugh. I hate it when I make one little mistake and I have to do the whole thing all over again. I also just did Abigail's Cove wrong, but that's fine. So then I do the same thing with a handout. It would be in Abigail's Cove when I move it down. And that's how I would do parts 1 and 2 and the last part. Because what happens in this adventure is that the party, oops, spoilers, the party starts in Abigail's Cove. They pick a pirate, and then they and the pirate go off into an adventure together, and then they come back. So I would have Abigail's Cove as the options, and then I would have the, like the pirate hunt, treasure hunt would be a second section. And I would call this like part 1, part 2, part 7 for the last part. Okay, so that's how you do that. To add characters, this I can do, so this is like angry, angry Aldrich. There we go. He's a swashbuckler, one of the pirate captains. I don't want this in any player's adventure, it's just mine. And I could upload, here's what I could upload. Stop it, go away. Angry Aldrich actually has a picture in here. There he is. So what I can do is I can do, in my computer, I'm going to do, I don't even know what it is. Controls, there we go. I did Windows key Shift S for a screen clipping, and I'm just going to grab this part. I don't know if you even saw any of that because it kind of froze on my screen. When I did the screen clippings, it pauses everything, but I just did Windows Shift S for my screen clipping tool. And I took a snapshot of it. I'm just going to save this as Angry Aldrich. Which I didn't type that fast. I just said A. So it's going to upload. Again, I'm currently uploading a YouTube video. So it's actually taking a while longer than it should. But it's an option. And then I use token stamp2 rolladvantage.com to make a token. Is it on the bottom of the screen? No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my documents, grab that one, and just put it in the picture. And I want it to be a little bit smaller, so I'm going to make the background color white. So that's the token I would use for the pirate. I might actually do it down here and make him a little bigger so that way he's not like cut off, but it is an option. And then these are kind of cool because you can sort of play around with like how you want this to look. You can make your NPCs blue, your bad guys red, and your PCs green or something. I don't know. You can make it so that way there's like color coding. I don't do this because I don't remember what I want to do anyways. But then you just press download, and it shows up. I'm going to move my face a little bit there. So then I can upload this into Roll20, and it's just the token that I would use. Actually, I'm going to do that because it's going to be super important for you to know how to resize it and everything. So let's do that. So I'm going to save changes. He just sort of exists now. I would put him in like the pirate hunt version of this using this location thing. Right now he's just sort of chilling, and that's not really where he's going to belong, but that's okay. Okay, so I go to my library. I'm going to upload. This is already here, but I want it to be the token version instead. So there's the token. It's going to take a minute. It's not going to pop up here. This is not going to go away. It just shows up over here. So I drop him to the grid. And then what I do is I always make sure that he's actually the right size. And then the other thing that I do is I will change these bars if I want to. It's typical for the ones that come to you that the middle bar, which I think is green actually. Yeah. So it comes to you that the middle bar is their health. So I actually know his health off the top of my head. And I don't even know if they tell me his health in this thing because he's not expected to fight, but he is a swashbuckler. So it's your call. Let me just double check here if swashbuckler's even in here. I don't see it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make up something for him so I can show you. Let's say he has 50 health. And then let's say that his armor class is a 15. And so that will show up on his token. I'll show you a different way too. So this is Angry Aldrich. I can show nameplate, but I don't need to. And I can just make him I can make his name just Angry or just Aldrich. I can do Captain Aldrich if I wanted to. And then I save changes. And then the important thing to do is that I need to open up Angry Aldrich, press edit, and then say use selected token once I've clicked it over here. Because what that does after all those steps is that once I drag him onto the field, he comes pre-filled in with all that information. If I had not done that and just used his token, I would have to change these every time I need him on the field or in the battle map. The other way that you can do things is you can do like 15 and press enter and it'll show up in here. I don't know what that would mean, but I don't usually use the red ones. And then something cool about this health on here is that I don't need a sheet of paper to like write everything down on. If I just press -5 for the damage he takes, it does the math for me. But when I drag out a new one, it'll be at the original again. So that's pretty cool, I think. All right. Okay, so we have this thing right here. Something I do on one of the pages, the start page, is that I'll actually put there we go. Jesus. Oh, that was cool. I've never done that before. I'll actually put like a landing page so that way the players can come and visit me, or like when I'm not here they can still come and do stuff and not be looking at the map and things. Not that I don't trust my players, but this gives them like a place to be, and I can actually leave, like I can leave their tokens here and then they can move them around and do whatever they want with them. So that's an option. We stopped playing Storm King's Thunder pretty immediately because I just can't handle it online. I like the smaller campaigns that I can actually just take bite-sized pieces out of, but it's an option. And then what you do here is you're going to drop it down to the map layer, which has pretty cool things, but I'm not going to do it on here because there's only these sideways little boxes. So let's make a new map. I'm going to call this the Salty Griffin because that's one of the ships that we deal with in this game. And then what I'm going to do, I already have the Salty Griffin on over here, so I use it a lot. But what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the Dead Man's Treasure, and I'm going to show you what I do. So down here, here's the cove. Here's a ship map. This is not the Salty Griffin. This is one of the 3 pirate ships that the players pick. They're all the same. Where's the Salty Griffin? Oh, that doesn't show up in this game, does it? Ooh, you right. Oh, you know what I would have done? I would have used this as his token if I had remembered that this was down here. Oh, well, it's fine. Okay, so let's say that this is the Salty Griffin. I don't like these dots on it, but they didn't give me one that doesn't have it. So again, I'm going to take a screenshot of it, which might pause my video. I don't know if you can still hear me or not, because what it does is it pauses my whole screen, so I don't even know what you see. So I'm just going to take a picture of that, a screenshot. I'm going to save it. Maybe a ship. Shio. I type too fast. It's fine. And then I'm again going to cheat because I already have it on here. So I'm just going to drag and drop it. And then let me show you something pretty cool. So something that roll20 does is once I drop it to the map, I have to be on the map to do anything else now. But if I drop it on the map layer, I can align to a grid. So what that does, is that it lets me refit this to the actual screen that I'm working with, so that way these grids line up. It's not perfect, but it is free. All of this is free, by the way. I'm not a pro subscriber. I don't pay for roll20. I probably should, because I use them a lot. But all I need is a 9 square grid, so 3 by 3. And I line it up as best as I can, and I let go. And it says it's probably 54 by 53. And in my head, I'm thinking it's probably the same and probably even. So let me try that. I'll align to grid. That looks pretty good. And it doesn't always do it perfectly, so we might have to move it around a little bit. And to do that, what I do is you have to hold down Alt, because it'll snap it. Actually, that snapped pretty nicely to the grid. I want it to be down one, though. Oh my gosh. I didn't even have to show you how to resize this because it was the perfect size. I don't think I like that. Let me show you how to resize it. So over here on the Salty Griffin page, which actually is the bluefin in this case if they pick Angry Aldrich, I can press page settings and I can resize this. So this happens to be a square, which seems kind of weird, so I feel like that wasn't a square, but it's fine, I don't care. So if I wanted to, though, I could like upgrade this, press it up a couple times, and then I get some more squares over here. You kind of have to estimate, but if it tells you how many pixels across the squares are, you can kind of count the squares and do that math yourself, but it's not necessary. And I think we all know by now that if you put the players over here, they'll see this when they log in. And if you put it here, they'll see this when they log in. So during the game, you want to move this over so the players can see it, but otherwise they don't have this blue thing at all. It's not there. Okay, so here's how we make a character. If I do character sheet, I have 3 options. I can use the Character Mancer, which is basically, it builds it for you, but is only for the PHB. It doesn't do anything extra. So if I want to be a Triton, I can't use this. I can create an NPC, which will be our typical thing that we look at, or we can just edit the sheet directly. So I'm going to show you to create an NPC. And I actually need to use a different NPC than Angry Aldrich because he doesn't have information. When I did this game, I made him a swashbuckler level 1 more than the party, so level 5 or 6. But, you know, I don't really... Oops, I went too far. Where are my NPC, or my bad guys? Above the maps, of course. So let's just say that I'm going to make this thing that I can pronounce, a Kraken Priest. So here's all the information I need. So I'm going to do these side by side so I can see both at once. Move this over. So this is a Kraken Priest, blah, blah, blah. I might even copy paste most of this over because it's, I don't know, I think I like that better. AC10, even though it says AC10, I do have to type it in. If somebody knows a way for me just to accept this as fact, let me know, please, because I haven't found one yet. So this says 75 hit points, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to show you everything because it's all on here. What I do want to show you is, let's say that I'm actually making this malformed Kraken because it actually has things that are common, right? A bite is common. So what we do is over here, we open up the compendium, we search for bite. And then, oh no, is bite not common? Dagger. I'm making it my own NPC now. So I need to be careful if I'm looking at proficiency or items, but I want to give them a dagger. So did you see how it said accept drop from compendium? It did these for me. It did both of these things for me. I also could do whatever else it said on there. Maybe it has a spell, like Vicious Mockery. I forgot to spell vicious for just a second. Maybe I give it Vicious Mockery as well. It'll show up on here. Maybe. Maybe not, because maybe it can't actually do that because it's an NPC. I don't know. Oh, nope. It's fine. I don't care. Vicious Shortbow, sure. There it is. So something that this does is that once I'm going to close out of the gear. Once I do this, I can just, this is pretty cool. I can just click the word dagger and a dagger will be thrown. It rolled a 2, which would not hit. So let me just throw another earth throw, I guess, because I said I was throwing it. Natural 20. Then once I click dagger thrown, it'll do the damage for me. So it does 4 total piercing damage because it rolled 1d4 plus 0, but it did it twice because it was a natural 20. It does it for me. If this one happened to hit, it would only do 2 piercing because it rolled a 2. I can also do vicious short bow, which I've actually never heard of before, but that's cool. Attack of 2. Oh my gosh, look at this. It tells me all these things about it. Click on the name again, it tells me the piercing damage. This is to everybody. If I want it to only be for me, I would do 2 GM and then it turns it yellow on my screen. I don't know if it's the same color for everybody or not, but so this is something that it would do. It's a 16. It does 1 piercing still to me. There is a way for you to auto roll the damage. I said no, so I don't want the players to do that, so that way I don't do it either, I guess, but it's fine. All right, let me show you at least one more thing that's very important. If I have Angry Aldrich on the battle map, and it's battle time, I click this turn order, and watch, if I don't have him selected, oops, I have to do Alt double click to get his character sheet up. If I don't have him selected and I do an initiative roll, it'll pop up over here, but it won't pop up on the turn order. And this is true for your PCs as well. They have to click the token first and then click the initiative. Now it's your call. Sometimes they forget and they get worse. Sometimes they forget and they get better. Do you know when they complain? Of course, when they do better. So it's your call if you want to just say, you forgot. It's not even on the turn order either. Oh, it's still to GM. Shoot. Public. Initiative. Okay, now I'm lying to you because it should be on the turn order. Something's wrong. It's fine. Something's wrong. It should do it for me. I probably didn't set it up all the way. But I've never had this happen before, so I think it's just me. Oh, maybe it's that I didn't finish this. I bet that's it. And so he should actually be on the roll. It's fine. I don't care. We'll figure it out together. But that's how we get the initiative on here. And then what's the last? Oh, and then once you have initiative, you click this little button and press descending order. So that way it reorders them. You also can add a custom label like rage if you have a barbarian, and then every time you add 1 to it. So that way once you do the next round, it'll be, I don't know what's happening right now. Once you go to the next person, once rage gets back to the top again, it'll add 1 every time. You could do the opposite too, where you start at 10 and then go down. So I might call this rage. Am I doing this wrong? Hold on. I wish I knew what I was doing. Apparently I don't. Turn tracker, adding turns, character sheet. Yeah, you see, this is the part that I was saying. You must first select the token. That's when it'll show up. Okay, and then adding custom trackers. Yeah, so I don't actually know if you can do 10, like start with 10 and go down, but you can start with 0 and go up, or start with 0 and go down, and that's your call. That's what tells you, like, once you get to 10, you're done raging kind of thing, which I do appreciate having that option. Okay, so battle, adding characters, creating these things. What's the other thing I can create? Character handout folder, that's it. Something that you can do though is that, let's say I'm making a, oh, here's what you need to know. Making player character, PCs on here. I just said player characters, but they're like character sheets on here. So let's say I'm making one, for myself. Now, I'm not going to make this. This is not my job. It's their job. But here's what my job is. If I make this, my only option is myself, right? If I have a group of people who are kind of new and I do want them to see each other's, I can use all players. But if not, here's the system that has to happen. I have to send them an invite to the Roll20 and they have to accept it. And then after they accept it, their name shows up as a player option, and then I can click their name. Right now it's me because I'm the DM and it's actually in here, but that is an option. Okay. That's if they were like, I'm going to be a secret until people, so that way other people don't look at their character or blah, blah, blah. One thing you can do if you're not tied to your computer, like some people are, is that you can actually do all players, and then later you can come and say edited and controlled by so-and-so. Right now it would be all players, that's the only option, but once I have a player in here, I can make it that, and I can actually change this to be only them. So then, save changes, here I am. Now, me, as a player and not as a DM, when I come on here, all I'm going to see is this, because nothing else is in my journal, right? Everything else is gone. And you have to tell them to click on the little newspaper looking thing. So what I would do is I would personally use a charactermancer as long as I know that it's all in the PHB. So what I would do is I would choose a race on here. I can also do custom. I had a really cool game recently where I played as a dwarf orc, so I had to make that in here. But let's just say I'm a typical elven bard, right? I'm going to say I'm chaotic good. It fills in all the rest for me, which is super nice. And I'm going to say I am a high elf, because why not? And it gives me the bonuses from that. And that's also my only option, if you noticed. And then I get to pick an extra language, I think. Let's say I also know, I don't care, Celestial, so I'm feeling super cool. I know one cantrip of my choice from the wizard spell list. I wonder if I can drop that now. It's fine, I don't care. So then I choose a class, and let's say I'm a bard. Why not? Again, it'll do all this stuff for me. And then I pick some things. I don't really care. Pick some more things. I'm super cool. I don't even know these names of things. All right, gives me all this stuff. So the cool thing about this is that this will actually give me all that I want. 15, 14. Why aren't you working? 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8. This is a terrible bard. Don't come at me. I just don't care that much. I'm showing you how to do it so you can help your players. Don't come at me. The only option in Roll20 for background is Acolyte. It's dumb. I don't like it. Sorry, Roll20. You're my favorite platform, but I wish that you gave me more options. I could do custom, but I'm just going to say I'm an Acolyte. So the cool thing about this is it tells me what I already have as languages, so I just pick another one. And then these are my personality traits that I would normally roll for in the book. Like that. I think that's pretty cool that these sort of show up on here. Okay. Starting, and then it tells me these options as well, which I already have a loot. No, I don't have a loot. I have a lyre. And then I have a prayer book, because why not? I don't want to do all this. Stop it. Okay, so I get one high elf cantrip, which is super cool that it actually gives me this list. And then I'll get dancing lights and mage hand, because why not? And then I want cure wounds. I want comprehend languages. I want vicious mockery. That's not a first level spell. I want. I thought it said sleep with animals. I haven't heard of that one before. And featherfall. Why not? So those are my skills. No feats because I'm only baby level. Let's call this one Ebony. In the book I read, it's got an Enye over the M. I don't know how to make that happen. I'm 50. I'm 5'11". I am 120 pounds. I have green eyes and blue hair. Because why not live a little? And pale skin. Okay. So I got all these things. Oh, I chose religion. I already had it. It's fine. I don't care. So then it builds it for me. So here's one thing that's good about Roll20. Let's say that I level up, because I'm going to level up, and I do want Vicious Mockery. I just drag it in, and it'll do it for me. Oh, that's a cantrip. I should have had that already. Some players will try to type it in, and it won't work all the way. Please direct them to the little I for the compendium and drag and drop. One thing that's kind of sucky is that if you like move it, if it doesn't say accepting drop, it won't drop it, and you'll just be waiting forever. The cool thing is that if they're trying to pull a spell that they can't cast, it won't show up in their book. So I don't know what I can't cast as a bard. Fireball. So it won't pop up because I can't cast it. Oh, I can cast it. That's cool. Is that real? Nope, sorcerer and wizard. I don't know why that girl couldn't have it on here then. But if I want to get rid of it, no getting rid of it happens here. I have to press the lock and then delete. If I want to see what it's about, I'll press I. If I want to cast it, I click on the red thing. It shows up in the chat. This one's not a spell, so it's not an attack, so it just shows what it is. But if I click on something that is a spell, it'll tell the DM what the wisdom save is, or what the save is for it. I have a DC 9 wisdom save, because I did really terrible charisma in my thing. And if it hits, I do 3 psychic damage. Pretty cool. If I happen to have a dagger, I don't really know if I have a dagger or not. But see how all this just populated for me. If I make a blank one, I have to drag and drop, which is fine, but like, who wants to do that? If I click dagger, it'll be an 18 to hit. That hits. Press dagger, it'll give me the damage. So I think that's pretty cool. Oh, what else did you want to know? Okay, maps. Copy paste. Do screenshots. Sometimes you don't have a nice screenshot, so you have to actually find it in your options in your computer. But you should know some way to make screenshots by now, because it's 2020. If I wanted to make a folder for just PCs, I might put Ebony in there. Ebony. And then I might actually make one for NPCs too. So that's Angry Eldrick. So that's how that works. Ebony I didn't give a picture to, so he just shows up as a little box. I don't like that. It's the wrong size and everything. So I wouldn't do that. I would actually give him like a thing. So over in bio and info, edit, they can upload an avatar. You can't upload a token. Or sorry, they can't upload a token. So if they upload an avatar, let's say, where's my most recent one? Let's say that's Ebony. I'm saying it different every single time, but sometimes it's how you play D&D. Then I, as a DM, will download this, go to the token maker, and then I think I actually have her little token already made in here. Maybe. Because my party adopted a child, so I made a little one. One of the cool things that these will always show up. Do you see how that's too big? So I'll make it the right size before I use it. And then I'll also give her, I need to say who it is, or else it won't work. The party can't see the name. You only can, so you have to press C here for party permissions. They can't see the bars. If you want them to, you have to press this. I don't want them to see my, like if I'm a player, I don't want the DM to see my health, for instance. And if it's on here, they can see it. And then she has 5 health because she's little and like a 10 to hit. So hopefully I don't kill her. If I was actually a bard, if I was using my actual character sheet, I would have done that too. I'm just making stuff up as I go now. So now, when I drag and drop Eileen out from Ebony out from here, it'll pop up with her character. Come on. It'll pop up with her character. It'll be the right size. If I had done it when she was a huge character. Oh no. Oh, I'm still in the map. I even dropped the characters into the map. Also, by the way, if these are actually in the GM layer, the players can't see them. And that's super useful for when you set up a battle, but you don't want to show them there's a battle yet. You're like, oh, you showed up and it's dark. And then they turn on a light. You're like, haha, here's this other thing. So if I had done it when she was huge, it would have always populated as huge. And that's a problem. Okay. I need to be on GM layer, delete this. I think Angry Eldrick's in the map. So once you're done with the map, I would go to object to tokens before you start dragging things, or else you'll just do what I just did. But now I can't move the map. All right, let's talk about our tools over here. So you've seen this one, I can draw a shape. This is kind of useful for Fireball, but what I actually do for Fireball is I'll go to the I don't know if my library will help. Cool. So from the web, no, not you. I'll drag this over, and then I'll go back to my pointers. I just had like a little piece of square on it. More than one, really? Delete. And then I'll give this an aura. So if it's a 20-foot, I think it's a 50. How big is the fireball? I don't know. 30 feet. This is the radius, not the diameter. So be careful. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah. So this would blow up the ship. But that's the diameter of the fireball. I'll do that also for fairy fire. But for fairy fire, it's 15 feet square. And so I actually have to do half of that. Which is math. I know. But that gives me a 15-foot square. And if I want it centered on a player, it would do this. If I want it like from their corner of their hands, I could press Alt down as I'm dragging it. Because if you don't press Alt down, it'll lock it into a square. But if you hold down Alt, you can leave it somewhere else. Don't say you didn't learn anything with me. Going down the tools. So you can freehand, blah, blah, blah. I don't usually use this. I do text. Like if this isn't here, but it's in my DM guide, I might do A, make it giant, put it where, not that big, put it where it belongs. Okay, maybe 100 font. And then put it up in the GM layer because I'll be able to see it, but the party won't be able to see it, which is way better than this. I actually might have deleted these if the lines if they weren't right on the lines, you know? So I don't like the party knowing the letters of things for some reason. It just makes me feel weird. All right. This little on-off symbol is actually a measuring tool. So if I want to see like, okay, so there's a person at sea and they want to do a spell here. If it's a 40-foot, if they can do it within 40 feet, they're good. If they wanted it over 60 feet, that's the edge of their range. That's a way to do it. You also can do no snapping. I don't know why you would do that. Kind of like that. The other fun thing to do is they're like, can I move there? Just show them this tool. They have the tool too. They can figure out where they can go. You don't have to tell them all the time. Okay, hide areas. So Fog of War is a premium thing. I just did reset fog so that way it showed up and it didn't show up. Hide areas. Whoop. So I turn on Fog of War, everything's covered. This helps for exploration. The only thing it doesn't help for is like, I have a lamp or I have 60 feet of vision. If they complain to me that they have a lamp or 60 feet of vision, let me get a character out here. Am I in the map still? No, we're good. So let's say she has 60 feet dark vision. Maybe I'll do, I guess the yellow kind of works. So this is how far she can see. She can't see below her. This is the second level of the ship, but this is how far she can see. So she can see the whole top deck, even if it's the middle of night with no moon or stars, cloudy, you know. You can also do this for lanterns. You can do more than one aura. So let's say she has a lantern that has, usually it's 20, 30, like 20 and then 20 more. So maybe I'll do 20 for the bright light and then I'll go 40 for the dim light. And that shows up both. Do you see that? You see that. Again, the players can't see this. So if you want them to see it, do that. If you don't want them to see it, that's just for you. But that kind of gives you a range for their dark vision. There's two different ways to reveal areas. If you reveal it like this, it's a polygon. So it'll be just that. I'm sorry about whatever noise is happening upstairs. I think that they're vacuuming. Polygon reveal allows you to shape it. So you just click the corners of the shape that you want, and it will only reveal that shape. You also can use that for something like dark vision, but it doesn't make circles. So you end up with this kind of funky shape, but it would still do basically what you want. I use this frequently in caves, because what I'll do is I'll just reveal, I'm just pretending this is a wall. I'll just reveal like until the rock wall, and I'm like, oh, you can't see anything else. So the only problem is that sometimes they think it's a wall and sometimes they think you're just not showing them the thing, so they do have to like clarify whether those are rocks or not. You know, it's fine. Okay, we talked about turn order. I do have to delete this now because it was a different one. Let me see if this works for this character. So I press Alt and double click, it'll pop up her character sheet. I press initiative right here. Hey, that totally worked. Okay, here's the problem with characters, or PCs sometimes. A player, if they press it again, it'll change it. Right? So what you want to do is kind of just double check over here that they're not making stuff up to get good stuff happening. Actually, this might be the end of my thing because I have last thing, and then we're going to be done because I have to go do something right now. I have a meeting that it's 5 minutes past. For this, these dice, if I want it just to be to me, or if I want the player just to roll to me, the first one's just one of them. 5 does all of them. Or 5, I guess. Adds them up. Boop, 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 boop. I also can just do like, okay, you take 6 damage, you take 6 damage, you take 2 damage, you take 3 damage, you take 2 damage. Please, 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 at least in your head, determine who gets the hurt first before you do anything else. Still hold on. You don't know you're holding on some pause. Okay. I'm multitasking. So if there's like 3 people around you, I do a d6 and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6. So that way I know who's taking the damage, and then I would do the damage. So that way I'm being fair. I can't, like, if I already choose to show them this, that's what it does, but I say it out loud at least. Okay. Hey, I have to go. Oh, shoot. There's if I have like bats or something, it's in the monsters. There we go. If I wanted to have a thing, I have to add it myself. It doesn't do it automatically for me. But I could just plop one down and then open it up and use the damage stuff. It didn't even work. It's like the compendium. It's fine. I don't care. Hey, have a wonderful day. I'm sorry this was quick. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm here for you. But I also have to go be there for somebody else. So we'll see if I forgot anything later. Okay, bye.